It is time to call the meeting to order. Sandra, would you call roll call, please?
Councilperson Brennan.
Here.
Bruning.
Here.
Perry.
Yes.
Hanson.
Here.
McGinty.
Here.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody, for coming tonight. Item number 5 tonight is citizens' opportunity to address the council on items not on the agenda, and otherwise you can address the items that are on the agenda as they are shown. Are there any, item number 2 is a conflict of interest statement. Are there any this evening?
Nope.
Okay, we'll move on to number 3, which is consent agenda. A, approval of agenda. B, approval of the minutes of the August 26, 2014 council meeting. C, claims.
I would move passage of consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the consent agenda. A, approval of agenda. B, approval of the minutes of August 26, 2014 council meeting. And C, claims. Are there any final questions or discussion? If not, call for a vote, please.
Councilman Hanson.
Yes.
McGinty.
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes.
Bruning.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 4, projects. A, Sac City Airport Equipment Improvement Project. Number 1 is consideration of approving the FAA drawdown. Number 4 in the amount of $154,361. Questions, discussion?
This is the equipment purchase minus 10%, which is the retainage.
I'll make the motion to approve the FAA drawdown number 20 out of $154,361. Second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the FAA drawdown number 4 in the amount of $154,361. Are there any additional questions or comments? If not, a call for a vote.
Councilperson Brennan.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
McGinty.
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Projects 4, number 2 is consideration of approving Lindeman Tractors bill in the amount of $171,513.
That's the total amount. So the other one was the 9% drawdown minus the 10%.
I'll make a motion to approve the Lindemans tractor bill in the amount of $171,513.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Lindeman Tractor bill in the amount of $171,513. Are there any further questions?
On the third, or the next to last page of what we have, what's the 173,016? At the top right-hand corner.
That's the total grant allotment.
Okay.
And you have to remember, 10% of this project is paid for by local funding.
So then we are under that?
Well, from the city's portion, we are capped at 2%. $2,000. You'll see that and I'll explain that a little bit more when we get to number 3 on our agenda. Is that that's not a full 5%. That's meeting our cap of $2,000 for the year. Past that, the airport commission and their proceeds from rental agreements pays for every bit of the rest of the amount.
So we pay 10%, but there's a cap on it.
Correct.
10%,
5%.
not to exceed $2,000.
Yes.
Exactly. On an annual basis, fiscal annual basis.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve the city's portion in the amount of $1,665. There being no further questions, I'll call for a vote.
Councilperson McGinty.
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes.
Bruning. Yes. Perry.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, 4 projects. A, the airport equipment improvement project. Number 4 is consideration of approving Olson Associates bill in the amount of $3,175.
This is a reapproval of the.
Did we do 3?
That's what we just did, didn't we?
But we did just do 3, didn't we?
We did Lindeman Tractor. We haven't
Oh,
done
We haven't done 3?
No.
Okay,
We
I
haven't done three.
apologize.
2.
We'll go back then. strike that,
I heard the
4
1,665.
projects.
I heard
A,
about last.
Awesome.
Sac City Airport Equipment Improvement Project, we are on number 3, pardon me. Consideration of approving the city's portion in the amount of $1,665.
I would
Thanks for
move,
keeping me on
I
track.
think somebody pays attention.
I would move to approve the city's portion in the amount of $1,665.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the city's portion in the amount of $1,665. Is there any further discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote.
Councilperson Hanson,
Yes.
McGinty.
Yes.
Brenny,
Yes.
Rooney,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thanks. Now we'll go to 4 projects, Sac City Airport Equipment, and that would be number 4, consideration of approving Olson Associates bill in the amount of $3,175.
This is the 3rd time we've approved this. After the 2nd time, we found that the amount we were given by the airport commission did not match what had been paid to Olson. So I called Olson, make sure we confirmed all the numbers with Olson, and so this is the outstanding amount with Olson on this issue.
So is this in addition to what we've already approved?
No.
Or in lieu of what we've already
In
approved?
lieu of what you've already approved. And you might remember at the last council meeting, my point was is that it should match for the auditor's purposes. Well, if it's off $1, we should reapprove it so that the numbers match. So,
So then do we have to unapprove the other one?
no.
I'll make the motion to approve the updated $3,175 in lieu of the previous motions.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Olson Associates bill in the amount of $3,175. Are there any additional questions or comments? If not, I'll call for a vote.
Councilperson Rooney,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
McGinty,
Yes.
Brenny,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. 4 projects. Airport Equipment Improvement Project number 5 is consideration of approving the city's portion in the amount of $335.
If you're reapproving everything else to keep it in line and clear, we'll reapprove the original thing. It has not changed, but it just makes it clear what our commitment was in the first time.
I'd make a motion considering the approving of the city's portion in the amount of $335.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the city's portion of $335. Are there any further questions? Not, call for a vote.
Councilperson Brenny,
Yes.
Rooney,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
McGinty.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Projects. A, Sac City Airport Equipment. 6 is consideration of reimbursing the Sac City Municipal Airport in the amount of $3,525.
You want me to say it again?
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
And
That
it's
is-
correcting.
Yes, that
It's
is
a
correcting the
correction.
amount.
I would move to reimburse the Sac City Municipal Airport in the amount of $3,525.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the reimbursing the Sac City Municipal Airport $3,525. Are there any further comments or questions? If not, call for a vote.
Councilperson Hanson,
Yes.
McGinty,
Yes.
Brenny,
Yes.
Rooney,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. We're going to B, Sac City Facade Project. Number 1 is consideration of approving the CDBG drawdown number 6 in the amount of $11,189.
This would reflect 63.8% of the total project cost, which is the portion that is being covered by the CDBG.
I'll make a motion to approve the CDBG drawdown number 6 in the amount of $11,189.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the CDBG drawdown number 6 in the amount of $11,189. Are there any additional questions or comments? If not, I'll call for a vote.
Councilperson McGinty,
Yes.
Brenny,
Yes.
Rooney,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Facade project number 2 is consideration of approving the Frank's Design Group bill in the amount of $17,538.20.
I would move to approve the Frank's Design Group's bill in the amount of $17,538.20.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Frank's Design Group's bill in the amount of $17,538.20. Are there any additional questions or comments about this? If not, I'd call for a vote.
Councilperson Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Rooney?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. B, the facade project number 3 is consideration of approving the city's portion, which is $3,508.
That's 20% of
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
it, roughly 20% of it.
20% of the bill.
I'll make that motion to approve the city's portion in the amount of $3,508.01.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the city's portion in the amount of $3,508.01. Are there any additional questions or comments? If not, we'll call for a vote.
Councilperson Rooney?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Motion carried.
B, Sac City facade project number 4 is consideration of approving the city's advancement of private funding in the amount of $2,841.19. And if you remember back several council meetings, we approved doing this because we needed to advance the money while we didn't have it. So that's what this is all about.
Is there a time frame yet for the property owners contributing?
My understanding is that the first 50%, this is my understanding, and actually Teresa and Bill might be able to remember this a little bit better, 50% at the time of bidding is when
Correct.
we're planning to collect it. So at that point, we'll get ahead of the game and then bleed on that for a while, and then at a point that'll run out, and then we'll be doing this again as we build up towards getting that final 50%.
And when's all of this supposed to start taking place?
Bidding is supposed to begin between November and January was
That's
roughly
exactly what I was
the
gonna
range where they're planning to bid. And with breaking ground in the spring, when the weather allows.
I would move the approving the city's advancement of private funding in the amount of $2,841.19.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the city's advancement of private funding in the amount of $2,841.19. Are there any additional questions or comments?
How much have we advanced on?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Because we've also been advancing the CDBG, but in essence, that's a short-term advancement because we've been getting that, about 6 to 7 weeks out. That's been coming in. So the CDBG stuff doesn't stay out there very long. But I mean, if you'd like to know what the private funding side of it is, it wouldn't take us very long in the office tomorrow, Bruce, if you want to go by, I can give you that number.
I believe the motion has been made and seconded to approve the private funding in the amount of $2,841.19. And we had our last comments, so we'll call for a vote.
Councilman Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Rooney?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, Sac City facade project number 5 is consideration of approving city's advancement of CDBG funding in the amount of $11,189, which is number 1, isn't it?
Yes, it's basically an advancement of number 1, because it takes them more than 4 weeks to get it to us.
I'll make a motion to approve the city's advancement of CDBG funding in the amount of $11,189.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the city's advancement of CDBG funding in the amount of $11,189. Is there any other comments? I'll call for a vote.
Councilperson Perry?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Rooney?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 5, the citizens' opportunity to address the council on items not on the agenda. Are there any? If not, we'll move on to 6, license and permits. And A is the Sac City Chamber Main Street Class B beer permit with outdoor service for September 13th, 2014. Brandy, would you like to speak to that at all?
This is just for the Freedom Fest event. We'll be having a beer garden from 2 p.m. to midnight for the Iowa State game that's playing. Masons are doing a car bash for the Iowa State cars, and then we're having a DJ from 6 to 8 and a band from 8 to midnight. And that's our permit for our liquor sales to go along with that.
They occur inside. In your packet, thank you, there's a copy of a map showing that sales will occur inside of the Chautauqua building. You have security arranged. I believe Officer Stacy on his time off is going to be providing service for it.
It is, and this event is 21 and up.
So this is actually Chamber Main Street sponsoring this? I see you're listed as the owner. I just was...
It must be some way that form's filled out.
We're gonna do IDs as they come in, right?
Right.
And do the wristbands.
ID check, hand stamp at the door. People will be at the door to do that, and security's provided on the other side of the doorway.
Okay.
And then the people working the beer garden have been instructed that if they still question somebody coming up there, they can ID as well.
And some of the people have taken the training.
Yes, 3 of us took TIPS training. I took it, Dale Lanier took it, and Steve Gary did too.
I'll make the motion to approve the Chamber Main Street Class B beer permit with outdoor service for September 13th, 2014.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the Sac City Chamber Main Street Class B beer permit with outdoor service for September 13, 2014. Are there any additional comments or questions? Call for a vote.
Councilperson Perry?
Yeah. Is the expiration date on this one right? It says it expires January 1 of 1900.
We've seen that before on their forms. We've seen that before come through on some of the state forms. I remember seeing that before.
Yes, sorry.
Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Rooney?
I thought, yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. 6, license and permits. B is consideration of approving Sac City Chamber Main Street's application for a noise pollution permit.
Gonna have a band, right?
Yes.
Live band.
I'll make a motion to approve Sac City Chamber Main Street's application for a noise pollution permit.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Sac City Chamber Main Street's application for a noise pollution permit. Are there any questions or comments? Call for a vote.
Councilperson Perry?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Rooney?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 7, continuing business. A is urban development area update.
Today at 10:15 a.m. we were invited and on the agenda, and I mean the committee that's been working on this idea. We were there we had invited Rick Hunsaker from Region 12 to come and speak with the county supervisors. That was the next step that was suggested after our initial meeting, is to have him come and answer any questions the two parties might have during kind of a joint discussion. He came up, talked with them. The plan seemed like it still had positive motion. The elements that came out, the final products of the discussion today, and the discussion went on for about an hour and 10 minutes, was that they would engage the county attorney to review the documentation, and that there would be a little bit of discussion about, there seemed to be a little bit of discussion going on about the use of a potential TIF district within the urban development area for the purposes of purchasing land. And that seems to be an area that prompted quite a bit of discussion by the county members. So there might be some changes to the current language pertaining to how that's used. But other than that, everything else seems to be going very well in the discussion. And the plan is to move on the next step by November 1st. I think they plan on getting back together to take the next step in the process.
Well, they seem very positive.
Good.
Okay, 8 miscellaneous. We have A, consideration of Sac City Chamber Main Street Chautauqua Building rental application for an event. It's approved since we have all the rest of it. Would be a bit strange.
We could do that.
Have to have it in the driveway, I guess.
I'll make a motion to approve Sac City Chamber Main Street Chautauqua Building rental application.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Sac City Chamber Main Street Chautauqua Building rental application for an event. Are there any further questions or
Do we
comments?
normally waive the
Curtis?
fee?
Curtis, please.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was just going to ask if there's a fee associated with that.
Actually, under the annual community request application the chamber presents to us and has been approved, they receive full use of city properties at no cost.
Thank you.
Just like, for instance, they usually use picnic tables during the Porktoberfest and things of that nature. It's written within their agreement that they don't have to, within their application which is approved, that they don't have to pay for those services.
Okay, any
Thank you.
further discussion?
So then, even though it says 150, it's just waived automatically?
Yeah.
There's been a motion and a second. I'll call for a vote.
Councilperson Perry?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Bernie?
Yes.
Motion carries.
8 miscellaneous. B is consideration of appointing Beth Borges to the volunteer fire department.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Beth Orchis to the volunteer fire department.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded to appoint Beth Borges to the volunteer fire department. Any comments?
It's nice. I believe this is the first woman in the fire department.
I think she'd be really good at it.
Okay, call for a vote.
Councilperson Perry?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
McGinty?
Yes.
Brennan?
Yes.
Bernie?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Public input on solid waste matters.
Nope.
Okay, 10 is council forum.
Please don't forget, tomorrow night we are hosting the county league meeting at Cattleman's. On Thursday night is the Northwest Iowa League meeting in Templeton. I believe you've all been contacted about those two events. And please don't forget that most of you did sign up for the Iowa League of Cities conference September 24th through the 26th in Council Bluffs.
What is she swearing?
Keep thinking it's the 18th. Just
We keep thinking it's
in-house.
next
Oh, I
week,
see.
not the following week.
We've got you going next week already.
Please, no.
Is there anything else?
Oh, one other thing. I was down at the Chautauqua building Sunday, and, we had the roof redone at the entryway on the east side of the building. There's a little overhang roof right underneath the door. That part wasn't done as far as the roofing, and I noticed some of the fascia boards and the rafter tails, they're starting to rot a little bit because that part of the roof, I don't believe, was done when it was re-roofed. Just an observation.
We'll have the guys take a look at it. There is one other thing I should probably make you aware of. I had a visit from FEMA today and the state. This was their kickoff event. You might remember that there was a national disaster declaration for the flooding this spring, and we had reported some cost associated with the flooding during the event. And this was their kickoff event where they came in and they kind of went over everything with us. They were here for about 2.5 hours this afternoon, and we went out and walked the park.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, in the rain.
Well, last Tuesday, I rode the garbage truck for an entire shift, and I have a new appreciation for their job. And not only that, our boys, even though as young as they are and as healthy as they are, those containers are way too heavy. I think OSHA's got, what, a limit of 50?
Well, I
Is it
actually
40?
looked back in 2008 or 2009, one of our workman comps audits was the reason, it actually stated in our audit that we need to restrict the size of our containers to 40 gallons. And that's what prompted us back then to start taking action on moving all of our trash
Well,
cans.
we need to
to
take a
40
look at
gallons.
that, because there were some times there that it took 3 of us just to lift a container.
Yeah, do they use just one tag then on that? Yeah.
Well, there was several things that went on. We stopped at one house and there was 6 bags out and they had one tag. So bag got picked up, the 5 stayed. They've got to have them on there.
I will give the guys today credit. One of the things when the new guys came in that we tried to institute in them from the very get-go was that this is not a business to make money, and it does not make money. So therefore, the rules have to be followed to a T. And so they've worked very hard, very diligently at attempting to make sure that what's done is done within the proper terms of what should be done. And of course, the difficult element there is there is a lot of pushback that eventually goes with that.
They feel kind of like they're all alone, because when people do call in and say, well, the garbage wasn't picked up, there were no tags on that. But people go out, put the tag on there, call the city office and say, hey, the tag was there. Well, the boys think they're getting the bad part of that, and they really aren't.
They're not.
Well, a great example, and this happens maybe once or twice a year, we'll have some form of a training that'll go on. It's all city employee training. And so we'll send out 3 guys on the trash truck, or we'll send it out extra early, and we'll try to get an entire shift done much quicker in a day than we normally would, with the idea we want to get them off by 10 o'clock to go do the training event. Well, it never fails when we do that our number of people calling because their trash got left behind usually triples or quadruples in that particular day. And of course, our code makes it very clear that your trash is to be out by 7 a.m. on the day of pickup. And so we know how do you prove it, but at the same time, you know what's going on when you see those situations occurring.
Because we've had some complaints from some of these places, and the boys pointed them out to me as we were going down the routes of where these houses were at. So when these people call in and say that those garbage cans did not weigh what they did, hello, I picked them up. I didn't ride in the truck, I was in the back end. In fact, I got back and called Adam because I had one hand totally swelled up. Couldn't see any of the veins in the back of my hand. My fingers, I had got my ring off and bracelet off. I think it was from just hanging on the back. I was not used to that. By the end of the trip, I'll tell you what, my legs were even going out from underneath me because I'd stepped out off that truck and just grabbed one of the truck.
But we jokingly say it internally that my trash has been left before. I know Tom Crab's trash has been left before, or recycling's been left because he's made a mistake and forgot to put a tag on it or something out. So I applaud the guys that, whether it's a city employee or somebody in the public, they treat you all equally as far as whether or not yours gets picked up or not.
And they do have the route down. It's just awesome. There you go.
A couple weeks ago, my nearly 90-year-old aunt was visiting, and she was green before being green was even in fashion. But she'd had some strawberries, and I guess at a community foundation meeting, but she wanted to take the strawberry container out to recycle. About the time they were coming, she was so impressed because one of the recycling guys came up and got it from her on the steps. She says, "You have the most polite people here. I'd move here if I didn't, And I said, well,
You'd be surprised how often that happens when I was with the boys. They go up to the thing, and these little old ladies walk out that front door and smile and say, "Thank you, boys." And the guys was way back. It was really kind of they're good. They represent us well.
Earlier this week, I had a call about Chautauqua Drive, and I drove up it, And then I went and got Adam, and he drove with me, and it is a mess. It's muddy, it's just a mud hole. And Adam has some road material that can't be put on now, but in case somebody's complaining when it dries up, they are gonna put some road material up there that's, my understanding, it has tar and,
Well, it's the shavings from when they did the Main Street down here. We have those behind VFW, and they've always been for the intent that when we had a drier time period, we could put those down for dust control and also for managing for mud issues. Unfortunately, you can't really put that stuff down when it's wet outside. It's heavy enough, it just sinks.
It just disappeared.
Yeah, so it has to be dry to be applied.
I tell you that only because if somebody mentions it to you, we try to do something about it.
City workers did dig the trench to get the electricity to the stone pillars last week too. So
Okay.
And if you're curious to look at what the pillars, what the lights look like, they're set up downstairs in Tom's office. They're pretty. They're nice.
Are they going on top of them? I
Yes.
thought they couldn't. Oh, the
They're
thing
gonna
is
run
going
the
along the
electric
side.
on the side.
The
Okay,
electrical will be on the side, but the lights will be
Right.
attached to the top.
okay, good.
So there will be outlets over there.
There will be outlets at the base of the pillars, yes.
Would that be done by the beginning of October?
Should be, yes.
Okay.
Should, ought to, but not necessarily will if you look it up in Webster's, but yeah.
Okay,
If
is
it
there
quits
anything
raining.
else for the good of the cause?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn, all in favor, Sandy, call for a vote.
All in favor, right? Yeah. Councilperson McGinty?
Yes.
Brandy?
Yes.
Rooney?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Thank you, thanks, everybody.